Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Seems like he wrote that in.
Why would you do this? I think it's. I'm not that good, but I really good for you.
All right, let's see the joke. He got it all right.
Oh, to where?
Cameron.
Same with Rickus Lobo.
Yeah.
And so you're really good school no less.
Yeah, that's. All right, here we go. No, the drill is more about outside. Sorry. Nick, you feel good about this? Yeah. Okay. What do we got, Nick? You're going with broccoli. You're a health guy. All right. So alpha has got higher price levels than beta. All right. So people of alpha are going to want to buy goods where? Beta. Okay. So they're going to demand what, Nick? People in alpha, what currency do they need to demand? Betas. Okay. And when they go to the foreign exchange bank, Nick, and they demand betas currency, what are they going to give for that currency? All right. So, and now I'm the foreign exchange bank. I have a lot of alpha's currency. So my supply should increase. So it is I think a broccoli type of drill here. And yes.
Could you just say like inflation means more money, so the supply of money would increase? Or alpha? I mean, the supply of money would depreciate. It's like.
No, because the foreign exchange is kind of, it's different from each kind. It's not always going to work out that way. That's why. Okay. All right. And if I was drawing the two graphs, just as a reminder, beta and alpha. Okay, we're going to demand beta's currency. Anytime you're over, you're going to appreciate. Anytime you're under, you're going to depreciate. Okay. All right. And what I want to do today is like a lot of practice that I took from past AP exams that just were based on drawing these graphs. One thing I'll say to you, it's really important to draw beta and alpha. Because if you don't put the name on it, then they're not going to. If beta's on top, they could be on the bottom, like it'd be alpha over beta, and then it would be beta on the bottom. Okay. All right. Nick, you're in charge.
Lord, thank you for gathering us today for the time. Help us have a safe and healthy weekend. Help us to enjoy the gifts that you've given us and appreciate the gifts that you've given other people. Thank you for Econ. Help us to learn a lot of Econ today. We love Econ. And God, that keeps us out.
Pray for us. Thank you. All right. Quick review with your partner on these terms. Give you like 2 minutes. Go. Because they don't really have currencies. If you went, it's going to be yen over dollar. Whatever's on top is on the bottom of that.
Price index. Price index. Price index.
And then they yeah, dollars. Yeah.
Price income. CPI says with the price index.
Consumer price index.
Consumer price index.
It's
Yeah, but like also they both count. Both counts. Yeah. GDP, that would be.
That'd be a-
Investment.
Basically, that's be a
Oh, it's
Investment.
current basket over base year.
Yes, times on.
Taxes on the test. That would be.
Price.
Oh, wait, I thought it said. Price level and then. Oh, right. Oh, I didn't. Change. No. Not that.
Anything you or your partner did not remember? Chuck.
Formula for GDP deflated.
It is nominal over real times 100.
Oh.
All right, and it's the GDP, the deflate and the CPI index are like inflation indexes. Someone else had their hand up. Current year over base year times 100. Lucas,
What's the shifters of LRAS?
LRAS. I would say the same shift as the production. First of all, long run Phillips curve shifts opposite LRAS. And for both of them, it would be like the production possibilities could change the quantity or quality of resources, change in technology. I like to use two others for them, change in capital stock, which would be like equipment and factories and something, and then change in natural or human resources. Now, both those last two would go into quantity or quality of resources, but they love capital stock. Like when they talk about investment going up or down, they like you to say capital stock increases or decreases. Anything else? Nominal is your paycheck. Real is your purchasing power. So you make $100 a week, Jake, you get a raise to 110. But if inflation's 8%, your purchasing power only increases by 2%. Okay, so last year, like we got a raise at Calvert Hall teachers at 5%, inflation is 8%. We actually got a 3% pay cut in what our dollars will buy us. We can look forward to being a teacher one day. Anything else? You good? Ryan, you good? Okay.
What happened?
Yeah.
And you tackled it?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you tell other people?
I think they're very aware. I mean, other teachers?
Yeah.
I mean, the teachers I'm friendly with.
I bet Coach shows it.
Yes, he's personally taking it out on his business class this year. All right, I think of the shifters of the foreign exchange market as tippy, and we did this, but I'm just putting them up here again. Change in taste, change in income. Remember, if income increases in the United States, yes, we're gonna buy American goods, but we don't need dollars, we live here, but we're also gonna need foreign currency. All right, then change in price level, you always want the lowest price level. By the way, right, it would be like the dollar, pound, dollar. Okay. And then change in interest rates. You always want the highest, we're looking, and this is where it's a little confusing, because usually for investment, we're looking for low interest rates, but here we're looking for high interest rates. And the way I like to think of it is you're looking to buy bonds from a foreign country. So if you're buying a bond, you want the highest interest, so your money makes the most. Okay. All right, this is the first, right, on yours? All right, so you want to do the both graphs, and you want and again, look at your lecture notes if they're going to help you. U.S. government significantly reduces personal income tax. Draw a correctly labeled graph of both the Japanese and the U.S. Japan, by the way, is the yen. Okay. So I took these from AP FRQs just to kind of get us used to the stems and the kind of questions they ask. What? This is supposed to be the manifest. Is it already? Yeah, I read it. The bullet says. You're a US citizen, you have more, to buy some more US goods, to need US dollars. No. You live in America, you go to the foreign exchange, that is US dollars. Huh? No. This is, think of it as a separate foreign exchange bank. So what happens? You need
You might buy some Japanese goods too. Right, they're emulsion, I bet. Yeah. How do you buy that? Exactly. I don't understand. No, but yeah, how does this affect Japan? Okay. Thank you. All right, unless you're like,
I thought it was like Japan would move to the US because the.
All right, here,
yeah.
if income tax is less in the United States, do US citizens have more or less money? More. So they're gonna buy some US goods, but we have US dollars, so we don't need US dollars. And then you're gonna buy some foreign goods. Now, and there's only two countries in these scenarios. Yeah, might you buy goods from Great Britain or might, but there's only two countries here. So you're gonna, it's like exports are gonna increase and imports are gonna increase because you're gonna have extra money, so you're gonna buy some Japanese goods. If you're buying Japanese goods, what do you need? You need the yen. So you go to the foreign exchange bank and you demand yen. Luca, what are you gonna give me at the foreign exchange bank for yen? US dollars. So I'm at the foreign exchange bank, I have a lot of US dollars, so the supply of US dollars is gonna increase. So I'm gonna look like. This is gonna be the United States. This is gonna be Japan. All right, now, if if demand shifts right, what happens to this currency? So, 1 second, Jake, I'll get it. This appreciates, and if I'm under the equilibrium, this depreciates. Go, Jake.
How would the money supply increase if you're giving the money away for yen?
What do you mean?
It increases.
It's
Money supply increases.
that the supply of dollars increases, not the money supply.
How?
And it, huh?
How does the supply? dollars?
Okay. I'm at the foreign exchange bank.
Yeah.
You want yen, I give it to you. What are you giving me?
US dollars.
Here's my supply of dollars that you just gave me, sitting in the foreign exchange bank.
So are we like referring to the foreign exchange rate?
Yes, okay? So you gotta really think of this as a separate entity, not part of Japan, not part of the United States. Okay? Are we good with this one? All right, next up. Inflation in the US happens significantly faster than in Japan. Draw a graph of both of these markets in the foreign exchange market. All right, so you got higher prices in the United States than Japan. Jake, whatever is on top, like whichever country, it's on the bottom, like of the vertical, and it's on the bottom of the horizontal.
I said that you want to buy a picture.
So we're like, essentially, we're the bank,
Whoever's on top, is on the bottom.
we're the bank bot. We're giving away US dollars to the bank. That's how it's.
What is? So the inflation is less.
I'm gonna buy that stuff from the US and more.
Yeah, so we're gonna give the bank.
Or exchange. So when you give
Yes.
them money, they will supply it.
I think, I heard you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
All right, Evan, here we go. Evan, are people gonna wanna buy US goods or Japanese goods? Because they're lower price, right? So US citizens are gonna go to the foreign exchange bank, what do they want? All right, so they're gonna demand yen. Now, when you come to the foreign exchange bank, I'm giving you yen, what are you giving me? So I gotta have an increased supply of dollars. So the demand for the yen increases and the supply for the dollar decreases. Okay? This graph is not right. What? What?
You said the supply of the dollar would decrease, but it was increased.
Oh, yeah. The demand for the yen, right? It's gonna increase, right? So you could put E1 for these. And then for the United States, the dollar. So what's gonna happen here? The supply is gonna increase. So the dollar is going to depreciate or appreciate.
The dollar's gonna
Wait, what?
dollar depreciates.
I know. So it depends on the level.
Yeah, sorry if you can't see that. Okay. All right, so the dollar depreciates and the yen appreciates. Okay. Chuck,
Are you able to horizontal axes?
this would be like, yen and this would be dollars for the US.
On the vertical axis, when you're like labeling equilibrium, would be like dollars.
Like, or, yeah, I went with E like for exchange, but if you went with dollars, yes. Nick, as long as you're consistent. Okay, you're fine. Okay, any questions on this? All right, let's try the next scenario. Japan has a large budget deficit that, by the way, if you see budget deficit, what graph should you be thinking of? Loanable funds. But you don't need that because they told you increases interest rate. Draw a graph of both countries. Is the paper different?
The paper just says, Japan has a large. It was like a not very one.
So the demand for yen increases again.
Bro, I love to speak anymore. Is that now? I mean, you guys do the problem instead of talking to me, okay?
Okay, that's a good idea.
No, demand for yen is increased. Because you would want to buy bonds when there's higher interest rates. Japanese yen, like Japanese bonds. Go to England.
You have these graphs, huh? Oliver, what do you have here?
I wasn't too sure, but
All right,
I think, the, supply and money in Japan, right?
okay, if there's high interest rates, are American citizens gonna wanna buy US bonds or Japanese bonds?
Japanese bonds.
Japanese bonds, right? So what are you gonna need if you're a US citizen to buy Japanese bonds?
Japanese yen.
So you're gonna demand yen, right? Okay? If you demand yen, what do you give the foreign exchange bank?
American dollars.
Dollars, right? So you're gonna get like a demand of the Japanese yen. This would be Japan.
Wouldn't like the supply of money in Japan also go up? Because rates are higher,
So what do you mean by the supply of money in Japan?
I don't know, but like. Like supply.
But here's what. I'm glad you asked it that way. You're not really thinking of the United States money supply or the Japanese. You're thinking of how the foreign exchange market. So it's like a sprite. Think of it on a separate island in between the two countries is this bank.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for.
Why do we start out with like the US first, like?
Oh, it doesn't, you mean this way?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. If you want to Japan and then US.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. Now,
So when, and like. When people like not wanna have Japanese dollars. Or no, wait,
are you okay?
yeah,
All right, now. Bradley, all these US citizens. Or Japanese bonds, right? What effect is that gonna have on the loanable funds market? You say it wouldn't shift it at all? Robbie, what do you think? Why demand? What, Robbie, in econ, what is investment?
The business is investing capital.
Right,
Yeah,
so is this investing in capital? No. All right, so would be investment,
I don't know,
why to the left?
because like the money that you're.
Aren't we buying, guys, stick with it, aren't we buying Japanese bonds?
Yeah.
Isn't that part, that's savings?
The savings would increase.
Savings are gonna increase. The supply would go right.
Is that like, a? Cause I feel like an FRQ.
Yeah. That's exactly why I'm doing it. All right, hold on. Do you understand why that happens?
So you're saying that bonds.
Bonds, stocks, and putting money in the bank are all savings. Just, guys, just realize you could do two things with money. You could spend it or you save it. So if we're not spending it, everything else is saved. All right, have a nice weekend.